We are a block from the Speed Palace, Port Royal Speedway, at Dylan Cisney's shop. Now, Dylan, I know this is a little bit farther away from the track than where you were born and raised, and I really want to start there. What was it like? You grew up on 3rd Street, right off the back stretch of Port Royal Speedway.
Yeah, we grew up on the back stretch, and partway through my childhood, we moved to the other side. We're on the front stretch side now, so a couple blocks difference, but we're still within walking distance, so it's pretty cool.
Would you say that's really what ignited your passion for sprint car racing?
Yeah, it's all I've ever known. You know, as soon as I can remember, I could look out my bedroom window and see it, so I guess I didn't have a chance to learn anything else.
Well, let's start back with your early years, because you didn't just jump right into a sprint car. You started off in go-karts. We're traveling the country with that, with your dad. Talk about just the history of where your passion and drive came with the go-karts before you strapped into one of these sprint cars.
Yeah, as soon as I could remember being a kid, my dad always had a go-kart out in the driveway, working on it late at night in our garage on 4th Street over there, and I always wanted to help and race, and that's where the number 5 came from. That was Dad's number, and you know, as soon as I got old enough, we were in this house here, and this was the same garage I had 2 go-karts in when I started. One was his, one was mine, and we had matching go-karts for a couple years, and we progressed couple different divisions from there, but we've raced out of this garage ever since I was 7 years old, so it's all happened from here up.
It just got a little bit bigger cars now instead of those little go-karts fitting in here, so you probably can't fit as many in here as you did when you raced go-karts.
Yeah, this was, Dad actually designed this kind of for the go-karts. That's why the driveway's laid out how it is and the shop's like this. This was just the race car bay, and Mom used to be able to park in here in a couple vehicles, and now we joke we're running out of room because we keep getting bigger toys, so.
I love it. Now, you have the opportunity to race just up the street at the Speed Palace, a place that you've always looked at. But what is one of your heroes growing up? You know, a local, I believe, Keith Kaufman, he was finishing up his last year when you actually started racing sprint cars. Is there a little sense of home? Yeah, of course, we're a block down the street, but is there something that makes that a little bit more special for you?
Yeah, you know, Keith was definitely my hero growing up. He was, you know, the big Juniata County guy and the man from Mifflintown everybody knew, and kind of the one I looked up to. You know, all the kids at school, that was the one they talked about when we were growing up, and we all had his T-shirt on, and, you know, that was kind of your hero to look up to, and that's who you wanted to be like. So I think I have a long way to go before I get to 129 wins over here, but hey, hopefully we'll slowly work our way there. And, you know, I'm really glad I got to run a couple years there when he was still around, and I had a couple races where we had good laps side by side with each other. So that was where, you know, those were some good memories that kids coming up nowadays, they won't get the chance to have those. So I'm real thankful for that. And, you know, last year at the banquet, we had some good pictures with each other. And, you know, he said it's up to me to carry the torch for Juniata County now. So trying to do my best.
That's exactly right. And you're still a young gun here. You're not one of the veterans yet, even though you've been wheeling a sprint car for several years now. Is there, basically, what is your goal? You know, do you want to continue racing sprint cars? Is there an ultimate larger picture for you?
I want to do anything, really. You know, I love sprint cars. It's what I know growing up. And, you know, I grew up next door to a sprint car track, so it's hard to kind of, you know, bypass that fact. Everybody kind of races what they grow up around, and that's what I had. But I want to race anything and anything, really. You know, stock cars, Indy car someday. You know, I'm open to anything. Midgets, USAC. You know, I want to get out there and just see what I like to do and try different things. And, you know, any opportunity that comes my way, I'd be ready to take it.
Absolutely, and you've had pretty good success here at Port Royal Speedway. Almost picked up the track championship. I know you're still streaming for one of those, but this could be the year?
I hope so. You know, we really went hard for the championship last year, and you know, it's just a stressful deal always points racing. So we kind of said this year, you know, hey, it is what it is. We aren't really even going to say we're running for points. We just happen to be here every week. So we'll just see what happens. And, you know, if we can travel a little bit and take your minds off this place once in a while, that's what we're going to try and do. And we're just going to play it by ear and see how we do.
Well, I'm just curious, what is probably your most memorable win that you have?
Well, it's probably always going to be the first one over here. You know, we came close a handful of times coming up the years before that, and you know, it's like before your first win, you just try so hard to get it, and you don't know what you got to do. It's like you try harder and harder and keep slipping away, or you make a mistake, and you know, they always say you don't know how to win until you do it the first time. And you know, that first one, when we finally crossed the line and got it, it was pretty neat. All my friends, family was there, and you know, it's like everybody was relieved we finally got it there. So now I guess I I need to pick the bargain back up and get back there. It's been a little while, so we got to work on that hopefully this weekend.
I love it. And I've got to ask, as a kid growing up, what's probably one of your most memorable races that you've watched here?
I'd say probably the one that sticks out would be the first Dream race in '07 when Jimmy Nace and Shawn Michael won it together. You know, that's probably to this day the biggest cheer I've ever heard at any type of race anywhere. And you know, Jim was always a great guy. And back when I ran the Super Sportsman, he would help us out and give me advice when I was just trying to learn the whole sprint car deal. So, you know, that was a pretty special one. And, you know, one I'll always remember, wishing he was still around to see us finally make it to the 410 ranks.
Awesome. Really cool. We're chatting with Dylan Cisney, just a block down here from the Speedway, and he wants to etch his name in the history at here at Port Royal Speedway.